Hello. We're back. I am your host, Starnibia, and this is now the End of the Rainbow short film live Q&A. I told you guys I would come back, talk to you guys a little bit longer just because I was kind of just rushing to the premiere of the film. But now we can kind of get into all of the things. Shout out to this queen right here, okay? She has been here from the first stream through the short film and back for the live Q&A. I love that. I appreciate you more than you know. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. First of all, let me just preface this by saying this film was shot over 5 years ago, guys. Like, can y'all believe the pandemic is about to be 5 years old? That's kind of insane. That's kind of insane. It kind of still feels like yesterday, if you ask me. Um, but yeah, that was like my first on-camera debut. I've grown so much as an actor. So watching it back, sometimes I'm a little cringy, like, oh my God, look at me. But I really love that film. I'm so glad that you guys got to see that, witness that. I have so much more in store coming soon. That is just the first little taste. Okay. We're going to get into some things this year because I low key have been holding back so much of my talent and not sharing it with you guys. And I have no idea why. I think I was just like trying to separate, you know, this life I'm acting, this life I'm the, you know what I mean? Like, because at one point I was just spiritual and wellness on here. I didn't really show any of my like acting stuff. And I'm a multifaceted human being. So all of these parts of me exist. And right now, I'm just solely focused on acting. So I'm in my acting bag heavy. And I love using art as a way to express myself and just to get certain messages across. I think art is some of the best ways to get messages across. Like somebody can be feeling one way, go see a Broadway show and leave changed. And that's what I desire to do as a storyteller is I want you to leave the theater or, wherever I'm performing, I want you to leave changed in some way. Star Angelo, I love that. Okay. But yeah, I do get a lot of people telling me, like, Star, you're so poetic and poised. You have an amazing voice. And so I've been dabbling into a lot of voiceover stuff. So this film, we decided to do voiceover because this is actually based on the book and play For Color Girls. A lot of you may have saw the Tyler Perry rendition of For Color Girls, but it's actually a book. It's actually a book called For Color Girls, and all of it is very poetic. So these are not my words. I just want to say that I'm an actor, just taking the words, interpreting it into my own, character and giving it to you guys. But these words, I feel, were just so prevalent to what was going on in the pandemic. I remember we had George Floyd, we had Breonna Taylor, we had a global pandemic, we had Black Lives Matter movement. And I do this because all of a sudden Amazon and Walmart and all these white brands cared about us. So it was like, are y'all playing games with us? You know what I mean? In one regard, killing us, and then also letting us be seen in the media really for the first time. It was insane, you know? So much was going on. And then I actually graduated on Zoom, guys. So when I graduated on Zoom, I was supposed to be doing a stage play for my last final performance, and that didn't happen because of COVID. And so guess what? I had an idea. I was like, you know what? I got another black girl in my class, the only other black girl in my class. Right now, I'm in my black bag. Like, I just felt like this is what was deeply affecting me and affecting us. And I was in an all white school conservatory, and I didn't want to do another white play. I wanted to have something that spoke to us in our pain and what we were going through. And so I called her up and I was like, girl, I want to produce a short film and I want you to be a part of it. And it's so crazy the alignment of it because she actually, weirdly enough, coincidentally, had like an entire idea of how to direct this play because she had an experience with it. Like it was one of her favorite plays, and she had the book, had all these notes on what she wanted to do, and she was like, girl, I'm in the midst of working on that right now. So I believe that was God getting us together to create this because it was just so needed. I want to get to some of the comments because y'all know I could talk all day. I could talk all day. I could talk all day. Shout out to you, Nikki. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, 50 Fine Health. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate y'all. Proud of you, sis. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. Yes, Nina. I love that movie. Yeah. Tyler Perry did his big one when he produced it. It had who was in there? Whoopi Goldberg, Felicia Rashad, Taraji. I mean, all the heavy hitters was in that one. But let me get to this comment because this is deep. So, was this short film about overcoming a broken heart? I felt that when you said so much. Yes, girl, talk about it. So, let's dive deeper, right? So, yes, this person, she was in a relationship, and this guy has mistreated her, has left her, and here she is grappling with that. She's isolated in the pandemic. And that's exactly what it means when she said, somebody almost walked away with all my stuff. And I was sitting there the whole time. Have somebody ever walked away with all your stuff, your worth, your value, who you are as a woman? Has somebody ever walked away with all of your stuff, leaving you insecure? Forgetting who the hell you are. I know it's happened to me before. Okay. I know it's happened to me before. Okay. Where you forget your worth, you put all your love into something, and they just walk away with all of your stuff. That is what that monologue is saying. She said, I want my leg with the flea bite, my callous feet. I want those things, the things that I took for granted about myself that I hated. I want those things back. Give me my stuff. How did I let him walk away with all of me? And I stood there and watched him the whole time. Y'all, I don't want to start preaching, but this is why I love art, because this is where you get to really find words that connect with you, make it personal, and live through those experiences. Because I actually, fun story time, I did that monologue for a school, a high school. I went and I was scared. I was like, oh God, it was a public school in Brooklyn. You know, these kids bad. They don't care about acting. But I teach a theater class. And so I went in and taught it. And baby, by the end of that monologue, there were so many young girls like, oh my God, I relate to that so much. And I don't know why, but I didn't think that they would be able to relate to that at such a young age. But I was deeply shocked when these girls, I mean, had to be 14, 15, and they were like, oh my God, I relate to that so much. You were speaking to me. And she was just like, I feel like now I know how I need to move if this happens to me again. And I was like, wow, like, heartbreak does happen at a young age, but sometimes, man, I was not expecting those girls to be like, girl, I relate to you, because it's a deep monologue. Come on now. Okay. Yes. When you let somebody walk away with all your stuff and you just empty, you became a shell of yourself. You don't even recognize yourself anymore. You haven't laughed in a minute. Where's your joy? Where's your happiness? And then on the other hand, we had my co-star Mings, which I probably should have had her on here, but dealing with being a promiscuous woman, you know, getting all the male attention and still feeling empty inside. So we had two opposites, right? We had someone who maybe was insecure after a heartbreak and didn't recognize herself anymore, depressed, all of those things. And then we had another woman who was also grappling with the same grief, but in a different way, because she did not want to just be seen as just, I think one of the lines was like, intimacy is all, is it's all I know. It's what I am seen and recognized for. But a lot of times when you're seen for being this sexy, voluptuous woman, no one can see past that. Your soul, your spirit, your essence. And there's a different type of feeling when someone can really see you, when they can look past the physical and say, I see you, baby. I see you. That's powerful, right? So that's what is happening in this film. And that's what it's about. It's about fighting to be seen in a world where quite literally we've been ignored. Like someone's been killed. Breonna Taylor, she did not get justice for that. We watched a sister, another Black woman, be killed, and nothing was done. Absolutely nothing. I mean, I think years later, like most recently, I think her mom or like her family got money or something like that, but that can never replace that life. You know what I'm saying? So, exactly. We are so much more. We are so much more, especially we as women, this world sells us short sometimes because they're like, look a certain way, and you know what I mean, you get to be the beauty standardized version of whatever a woman should be. And really, being a woman and what it means to be a woman has nothing to do with your body at all. It doesn't. You know what I mean? It really doesn't. Being a woman is so much more deep and complex, and a lot of times people don't get a chance to really experience us because they only experience one version of who they think a woman should be. That's the truth of the matter. You know what I mean? And so this film, honestly, and I have to just say, as an artist, I love telling stories that center Black women. I love it. I absolutely love it. I grew up in a household with 5 Black women. My mother, who was a single mother, and I had 4 sisters. So I am immersed in that. There was no masculine energy in my house. It was just us. And we were going through our own things. But something about that kind of made me who I am as an artist. All of the plays I've done, I did Schoolgirls, or the African Mean Girls play in Cincinnati. And I also did that in Ithaca. That was a play that centered these girls in Ghana. It was an all girls play. And then I did Cadillac Crew, which was in Vermont. And that one was also centering 4 Black women. So a lot of my work, like it's a strong suit. It hits home for me. And when you're an artist, when you can relate to something, you can tell the story truthfully because you can personalize it. And so this short film just means so much to me. And I was like, why have I not posted this? I know why, because one, I really don't have the rights to the play. And so we were scared at first to post it. The other thing was COVID guidelines. We did that literally, y'all, during 2020. And we took COVID tests and all of that, but I was not going to act with a mask on. I was like, no, this story needs to be told. If I'm in my house, I'm not going to be wearing a mask 24/7. I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to tell the story truthfully. So we didn't wear masks. We weren't 10 feet away from each other. But for the most part, I was in my house, she was in hers, and we just recorded all that stuff. Um, so that's why I wasn't able to post it when it first came out, because it was a school project, y'all, which I know the quality is fire. You would not know that that's for school. But it was for school. How long did this take to make? Honestly, it wasn't long. It probably took us like a week of shooting. Maybe like 4 days. I think like 4 days. I shot one day, she shot one day. We did another scene. Honestly, you know what? I think it was like 3 days. I think one day we did all of my shots. The second day we did all of her shots. The third day we did the beach scene outside. And that was it. Obviously it took like at least 2 weeks of planning though. Like we had to we went to an actual real studio. Shout out to Nick Productions. He allowed us to go up in his studio and professionally record the voiceovers because I wanted it to sound crisp. So we had to do that. I had to meet with people like to get more funds for stuff. So I was on the producing side, she was on the directing side. She like came up with all of the shot list and we're gonna shoot this here and all of that. And we got an amazing DP. His name is Corey. He did his thing because I don't know nothing about a camera. Well, let me not say I don't know nothing because I just took an on-camera film intensive. So I know a little bit something now. But back then I knew absolutely nothing. And he came in with the lights. I mean, he killed it. I could not have done this by myself. And I also want to say during this time in school, you're so versatile. Thank you, Queen. And this is why I want to show it, right? I want to start showing the fullness of myself. I think I almost walked away with my own stuff. Sometimes we do it to ourselves. It don't even have to be a lover. Sometimes we walk away with our own stuff. Maybe I gained weight during the pandemic. Maybe I lost touch of my own reality, start feeling insecure and depressed and just get so caught up in my own perception of myself that I forget how absolutely amazing and a masterpiece that I really am. Most recently, I have been sober, I've been fasting, I've been in this room creating. I signed up for another acting class, another on-camera acting class. So I've just been in it and I'm just birthing all these new things. And I'm like, I got to share this with somebody. I can't just keep it all bottled up inside and like nobody gets to see me for who I really am, you know? So I think at one point I walked away with my own stuff. When you have a moment of like a peak in life, like I experienced a certain peak in life where I was like, okay, this is it. I got 8,000 subscribers on 80,000 subscribers on YouTube. I was getting all the views. I was focusing on wellness and meditating and all of this. And then the pandemic hit and all of that just like, gained weight. My sister passed away. All these things, you know what I mean? Like we go through ups and downs and ebbs and flows in this life. And sometimes when you're on what feels like a decline in life, you start to kind of second guess yourself. You stop showing up for yourself the way you would. I mean, I had to really like, I mean, I've been sober and really like deleted Instagram, deleted everything. I may go back on there just to post this because I do want this film to be seen. But man, I truly had to do some self work to get back to a place of wanting to create and wanting to share all of the things. But yes, yes. And so many people can relate, you know? And so I'm glad that you guys are able to be like, yes, girl, you are right. Because it's vulnerable to even be able to share. I think that's what it was like. A lot of times I would share a lot of my life stuff, but sometimes it's a little easier to do it behind the mask of a character. But every character I play is me 100%, my heart, my soul, my everything. But yeah, I almost walked away with my own damn stuff. Forgot where the hell I put it. And so I had to create some new stuff and also merge the two because I'm still the same person, right? I'm still the same woman. I'm 27 now, so I've just gotten older. I've matured more, and everything I've been through has made me who I am today. So I have to show gratitude in that regard. Yes, we can't wait to see more. You're awesome. Keep being that. Thank you. I appreciate you so, so much. I just shot a new short film like 2 weeks ago. I'm waiting for them to edit it up and send it to me. But that is actually will be more recent acting stuff because it'll be just it is actually the first thing I shot this year. I just shot it. So I'm waiting for it to come back. When it comes back, guess what? We could do another Q&A live sesh because I do want to share all of my work with you guys. I really, really do. And I'm glad that y'all are resonating with the messages of the film because that's what it's about. You know, it's so that we as Black women can feel seen. And at the end, when they're at the beach, it's because they've found joy within themselves, not in a man, not in looking a certain way and being promiscuous and what you can do with your body. They found it within themselves. I think the last line is, I found God in myself and I loved her. That's such a powerful, powerful line. Like, oh my God, that's so powerful. That's so powerful. And I relate to that. I really do. I relate to that. Sometimes we lose ourselves, but you can always come right on back and find it again if you just tap in, remember who you are. And I'm still very spiritual, so I believe that God is always working through me in this lifetime. So I'm so glad you guys got to see it. If you guys have any more questions, send them in, send them in, send them in. I have some comments on here too. Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate y'all though, for real, for tuning in, seeing it. I'm glad I got to put it out there. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun content this year. I also have 2 YouTube shorts that I'm gonna upload. Behind the scenes, day in a life shooting a commercial. So you guys will actually get to see the behind the scenes of me shooting the commercial that I did with the Hearst commercial. I actually got all the footage of me on camera and waiting to go up and everything like that. So that'll be fun. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna keep creating. But I am, in fact, gonna do a monologue series where I want to do like actually record live monologues and post them. Hey Lou! Oh, we got family in the chat. Period. This was such a impromptu live. I'm not even cute and dressed up, but I don't need to be because I was cute in the film. Okay. Hey Lou. I can't wait. I got 2 vacations this year, y'all. I got a vacation and I got a girls trip. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks so much for sharing. It was truly amazing. You gave us a little bit of everything and left a very important message. Period. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's what it's about. It's about the message. Like, I want people to watch my art and leave like, oh my God, that just resonates with, like, that's the art that I love to watch. Viola Davis, there's not anything that I watch that I'm not captivated by her presence. She's one of my favorite actresses. I would love to work with Viola Davis. Period. I know I'm always cute. I need to stop. I am always cute. I am always cute. But yeah. I'm glad I finally got to show this film because I was scared to show it because of the COVID guidelines. But it's been 5 years, and you know what? This is a masterpiece. This needs to be seen because even outside of COVID and all of that, it's still so relatable and it still resonates to this day. So yeah, I'm glad you guys were able to see it and enjoy it. I really do appreciate y'all. And so I'm gonna do a monologue series where I'm gonna just record some monologues because I have a lot of monologues that I can also perform. I also want to post some self tapes. I have some really dope self tapes that I've booked stuff from, and self tapes that I did not book from, but are still fucking good. How about that? So you guys can see like the raw edited version of the self tape, the audition, and then you guys can see the final product, booking it. So that'll be fun, right? So yeah, I'll do a series like that because that was really cool. That's really cool to see. I love to see stuff like that when you can see like the actors in their audition self tapes, and then you get to see how it translates to the actual shooting the film. So yes, I want to show y'all because I have some really dope self tapes. I have some dope stuff, and not all of them are dope. Some of them are like, oh, I could have did better, but that's just a part of being an actor and an artist, right? Can't win them all. But every day I get better. I'm always practicing and in my craft. So I'm excited. This year, I don't know, it just feels really special. It feels like the year of rebirth, of pouring into my inner child through my creativity. I have to tell y'all something, and this is actually an exclusive outside of acting. Something else I've been dabbling into is I've been writing raps. I have been like writing raps since I was like in middle school. And I told you guys that the guy that I recorded the voiceovers with, he has a studio. And you guys remember my YouTube intro where it was like, "Hey Queen, hey Queen." I rapped that intro, wrote it out, and recorded it in the studio, and I used it as my YouTube intro. And he was like, "Yo, you're dope. Like, I want you to write more stuff." And then like I did one verse on like one of my friend's songs. But I was like, I'm focused on acting. I'm an actor. I'm not doing this. And then this year, I was like, you know what? Now that I'm sober, every time I want to go out, have a drink, do this, let me like sit down and like I got like a whole microphone and like kind of like a booth. Like I have headphones and stuff. And I started like writing stuff. He would send me beats and I started writing stuff. And I wrote like actually a really dope song. I let my boyfriend hear it. He helped me out a little bit. He gave me some because like Brian is like a rap head. He's a hip hop head like me. So he was like, "Yo, you should add this, you should add that." And then I sent it over to the producer and he was like, "Yo, this is really dope." What's fun is I'm able to incorporate a lot of the storytelling into my raps. So it has like a very animated feel to it. Yes, here we go. One of my ODs remember when I had the rap intro. I might rap and do a whole new intro now. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a new one. But yes, yes. She said, "What? Okay." Ah! She said, "Give me a little something." I cannot. I'm not that confident in my rapping yet. Maybe I'll let y'all hear a little preview. This is my boyfriend trying to call me. He's like, "Are you live with your audience?" Yes. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all hear something. How about that? I'm gonna let y'all hear something. And this is not even professionally recorded because I really want to go into a real studio and do it. But since y'all been with me and rocking with me, I want y'all to hear a little something. How about that? How about that? You know what, Lil? I sent it to Mert. I sent it to Mert. He was like, "That Joan fire." All right. I'm about to play it, y'all. I'm about to play a little bit of it because I really need to professionally record it, but I'm gonna let y'all hear it. Can y'all hear it? I hope y'all can hear it. Yo, 5 little girls in 4th grade. I asked God, how can a mom be so mean? I asked God, how am I to survive this? Waking up every day seeing the violence. It started out she acting like she hate me, so I hate me too. And she gonna resort to violence just to taking the rules. Tossing and turning, I wasn't learning, failing in school. Teacher disappointed in me, but if she only knew. My mom's a drunk, my dad shoot dope in the bathroom. So tell me, how am I supposed to thrive in a classroom? Who asked you? You didn't have to suffer, I had to. And tell your little therapist to kiss my ass too. Eviction notice is no. Okay, Brian is calling me. That's what I will give you guys for now. I'm gonna professionally record it, and then when I professionally record it, I want to do visuals and like release it as a whole thing. Um, period. Jackie of all trades in this bit. Period. Okay, and even that was a storytelling song, right? Because it's about my life. But that's just the beginning. Like that song is so hard when y'all really get into it. I want to professionally record it and then release it with visuals, and then y'all could really get into it. But I was talking to Brian about it, and he be teasing me like, "Star, you need to focus on acting. That's where your money is." But I'm like, well, if God reveals to me that I have something in this rap shit, guess what? There you have it. Thanks, Lou. Thank you. Period. Thank you. I appreciate it. And that's something that literally I recorded on my freaking laptop. So it's not the best quality at all. But yeah, that's a song that I wrote like last week, and I wrote it in like one day and just recorded it on my laptop. So Yeah, I could see myself doing poetry too. Definitely, definitely. Because that's kind of like what the film was. I don't know if you got to see it, Lou, but it's on my page. It's a short film. That's kind of like what it was in the short film that I did. So yeah, I could definitely do poetry for sure. Kind of like maybe like a open mic or something. I did tell myself this year I want to just challenge myself and do an open mic, like just go and do something. So you got to challenge yourself as an artist and just put yourself out there. Sometimes you never know where it'll take you. So I'm thinking about doing something like this. Um, Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I really was not gonna showcase any raps or anything, right? Um, yeah, open mic for sure. Yeah, I would definitely do an open mic. I would definitely do that. Brian has been pushing me to like do a monologue slam. Like they have monologue slams in New York where people come and do monologues and stuff. So he's been pushing me to do it. I actually got invited by the producer after he heard this song. He was like, "Do you want to perform at the showcase I'm doing in July?" And I was like, "Wait a minute. I'm not like a professional rapper." It's like with every art form, you have to build up your confidence and like just keep practicing so that I can feel more confident with it. But it's something I do have fun doing and I really do enjoy it. I think it's just another form of storytelling. And as like the hip hop head that I am, I do feel like, you know, today's rap is getting very old and washed out. Shout out to Dochi. She's holding it down right now. She's introducing new sounds, talking about real shit, pushing the envelope, bringing us back to like the old 90s hip hop, because that's what we need right now. We need something to refresh us. I'm tired of Sexy Red. I'm tired of Meg, no shade. I'm tired of, Glow. I like some of her stuff. Like she been doing a little bit of gospel, so I like some of her stuff. But we need some new energy. Like I'm tired of shaking ass, selling pussy. I'm tired of it. Okay, I'm tired of it. We need some new, real artists back in hip hop because I think somewhere along the line we fell off. You definitely do it well. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Y'all give me the confidence to be like, you know what? Maybe I need to really do this shit for real. Maybe I need to do this shit for real. But I feel like if I was a rapper, I would be very conscious of the messages that I put out in my music. Like, I probably would have some fun songs, yes, but I would be very conscious of the messages that I put out just because I feel like my favorite artists, when I think about rap artists, Lauryn Hill. Thank you. I appreciate y'all for real. Y'all gassing me, but y'all really giving me the confidence to be like, even Brian told me it was fire. And Brian is like, he really wants me to just focus on acting. He thinks this rap thing is like, Star, what are you doing? Because he doesn't know I've really been rapping since I was in middle school. Fun fact, my cousin is on here. We actually did a song when we were like, how old was Lasia? We did a song with my uncle. So my uncles had like a rap group and they were actually kind of popular. It was down in Richmond, Virginia. They were called the Crimeys, and they had a studio in the basement or like in the garage outside, and like we recorded a song with him. We actually recorded a song, and it was crazy. It was fun. It was fun, but it was crazy. So my first time in the studio was actually with my uncle. And he was like, you could like just hyping me up and giving me the confidence. And so I think since then, I've kind of been facts. We really was. We've been rapping since little kids, like 5. Literally. My cousin, this is my cousin, y'all, for those that don't know. Lasia is my cousin. We literally been rapping since like babies, like just seeing our uncle shoot music videos in the driveway and shit. Like it's in our blood to be artistic. You know what I mean? So I never took rapping super serious, but there was a time in high school when I would like upload my little rap videos and shit to Facebook. Um, but yeah. Oh, period. You know what's crazy? I did invest in some singing classes. Um, but this comment says you are multi-talented. You probably can sing. Look at Jamie Foxx. He can sing, comedian, actor. Look at you. Period. And that's what I need to get in the mindset of like, I can do it all. I really can do it all. And so that's why I said We're changing my YouTube channel. I don't want to do day in the life of vlogging because, first of all, I'm too busy to vlog my life. Like, I'll be auditioning, going here, doing this. Right. And our grandmother was a singer. Talk about it, Lou. So we have musicians in our family for sure. But yes, I am multifaceted. One thing I will say, when I was like, I don't know, I think I was just born with it, but I always had like an inner innate feeling that I would be an actress. So I got stuck on like, no, I'm going to be an actress. I'm going to be an actress. I'm going to be an actress. That I never allowed myself to be like, wait, I could be this and that. You know what I mean? So now that I'm getting older, especially like I don't have kids, I'm still young. I'm about to go hard in everything. Like, period. I'm about to go hard in everything. But yes, my grandmother was a singer. She used to have, I literally still have the shirt with like her picture, and she's holding a microphone singing. She used to host clubs and stuff, which I definitely have Viola's essence. Like, I have my grandmother's essence so much. Like, people tell me that all the time. They're like, you remind me of your grandmother, because I'm like the hostess with the mostest. I love to host. That's why I do Star Speaks. Like, that's like where I get to host and like host a show. Like, if I could visualize who I would ideally want to be, it would be an actress, a rapper with like a talk show where I could like have guests on, kind of like Jennifer Hudson. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so good at having conversations with people too. So that's something I would love to get into as well. Yes, so well put. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. That is exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. Yes, acting is the tree, and your other talents are the leaves. Yeah, I feel that. I really do. I feel that so much. So yeah, I just got to keep putting myself out there, uploading my stuff, and actually like creating a platform where people can be like, "Oh, who's this girl? Oh, she got mad stuff going on." You know what I mean? So, I mean, I wasn't thinking about releasing an EP or nothing this year, but now I kind of was feeling like maybe I should, like, cuz he's been sending me other beats and I've been writing to them. And so I'm like, maybe I should just see where this goes. Something is something freeing about just seeing where something goes, you know? And so I do definitely believe that that song is called Five Little Girls. As I was writing it and rapping it and listening to it back, I could see like a music video like happening. So I would love to do visuals to it as well. But yes. Yes, well said. Well said. Well said for sure. Well said. I love that. Yeah. And it is. And so it just so happened too that my job, so I work at a theater company, and long story short, some of the workers walked out, they on strike. And so I don't have a job right now, technically, right? But instead of seeing that as a bad thing, I've been like, I have all this free time to just create. So guess what? That's what I'm going to do. Thankfully, they paid us because I thought they weren't going to even pay us, but they did. So I have a little bit of chump change that I can sit back on until I start back working. And I still teach. I teach once a week. I teach middle schoolers and high schoolers acting and stuff. So that's another cool thing that I get to like work with kids with acting games and stuff. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to just use this time for self-discovery. I've been sober for now. I mean, whatever the beginning of the year is, how many ever days it's been, but since January 1st, I've been sober. I have not gone out anywhere. I've been locked in. I started an acting class like January 6th. And then right after that one finished, I shot a short film. After I shot that short film, I started another acting class that's every Saturday. And then I've just been rapping, creating, just in my zone. You know what I mean? Like, some of my friends been like, girl, where you at? What you doing? And I had to tell them, like, I'm gonna see y'all in the summer. Cause sometimes you gotta invest in yourself, you know? And I do feel like when I used to meditate and be super spiritual, I used to be super rigid about like, all right, I gotta meditate, I gotta chant, I gotta journal, I gotta do this. And God told me, you can heal yourself through art. And I was like, oh yeah, that's actually more fun, actually. So it took me a while to realize, like, healing, and it can actually be fun. It doesn't have to be this like mundane routine of like therapy and this and that. And those things are, I'm not like, I don't discount it. I did therapy for 4 years, um, and finally graduated to where she was like, I think you're good. Go off in the world. um, but I think now I'm just in a place of like, I want to create and express, open my throat chakra, just like get creative because art is healing. It really, really is. And I think that's why I love being an actor, a storyteller, an artist. At this point, I'm just an artist because artist falls underneath all of those umbrellas, you know? But yeah, it's gonna happen when it does. Like I'm not in a rush for fame or anything. I'm just falling in love with the craft. And wherever it leads me, it leads me. Like I'm happy just talking to 5 people on a live chat. Like I'm very fulfilled. And when you can find joy and happiness in the little things, when a lot comes, you can be a little bit more grounded in it. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. I think after talking to you guys, I'm kind of maybe might dive into this music thing and take it a little bit more seriously because I've been shortchanging myself a little bit. Like, I'm not a professional, but I did invest in some voice lessons. I'm starting voice lessons. What is it? Top of February. So that's going to be fun. Finally getting to like, tap into that. But yeah, I do want to give a big, big, big shout out to 50 Fine Health, Damaris Rodriguez, Leja, Nikki, um, all of the people that have just been in the chat, showing me love, and just engaging with the content because I suck at being consistent when it comes to vlogging because I just fell out of it. And I also had a conversation with Brian and I was like, babe, honestly, I want to keep my personal life private. I would rather showcase my art, but I don't want to vlog and have a camera in my face every time I go on vacation or every time I'm out with my man, or you know what I mean? Like some things are sacred. And so although okay, DD, period, I will. But at one point me and Brian had like a channel and I think we did like one vlog. But I don't know, I just feel like I would rather those things stay sacred. You know what I mean? Like although I love to perform and be an entertainer, you have to have the time to take off Star Nubia, where I'm just Star at home. You know what I mean? My real name is Star Nubia. People think that I just made this name up to be cool. Yes, Star Nubia is my real name. But we all need those times to be able to like, okay, light camera action, close the curtains. I'm at home with my man, with my family. I want to live in the moment, especially after my sister passed away. I feel like that was the biggest lesson of like, this is what really matters. Family, that's irreplaceable. Home life, that's irreplaceable. As much as I was like grinding and acting and wanting to get all of these accolades, what's most important is family and spending personal time with them without all of this. So that's another reason why I'm like, you know what? I fell out of vlogging because my heart wasn't there anymore to want to share every little thing. So I rather share my art. Then I'll be more consistent because then I'll be like, oh yeah, I could post a monologue every week, really. You know what I mean? We completely ever. Oh, really? Okay. Yes, Starnubia is my real name. It's very cute. My dad actually named me. So my full name is Nzinga Starnubia. Nzinga is an African queen who actually fought the Portuguese from enslaving her people. And so I'm named after an African queen. And then he named me Starnubia. One of my aunts' name is Inubia, and he named me after her. But my family is very like Afrocentric, Black Power. Like my dad was a 5%er. I don't know if you guys know what a 5%er is, but they are like under the belief that the Black man is God and all of these ideologies. Like he drilled this in my head when I was like 2 years old. So my dad has always been very, very just pro-Black and like wanting me to know who I am, you know? And at first I really didn't like my name because nobody could pronounce it. And it took me a while to grow into my name, y'all. Like a very long time. I would just be like, just call me Star. I would shorten it, shorten it, shorten it. And then I got to a place where I was like, I'm not shortening my name anymore. It's Star Nubia. Say the full thing. That's it. I'm not going to shorten it. Even this year, like when I started my new acting class and stuff, and I had to introduce myself, there were some people that struggled saying it and all this, and I'm just like, I'm standing on business. You can figure it out. It may take you a couple tries. Star New Be That's it. Like I'm not going to shorten my name. So I don't like. That's one thing I had to grow into. My name. But now that I am grown into it, you're going to use it. And you know what? A lot of times when I do auditions and casting and stuff, casting directors are like, "Oh, Star Nubia, that's a beautiful name." So it helps me stand out in the audition rooms too. Thank you. And that's all my dad, y'all. That's all my dad. He was like, I had a vision for you when your mom was pregnant with you. And he came up with this name. And to be fair, I do think it fits me, like as far as who I am, who I express myself to be. Like I definitely am very pro-black, like clearly. Um, and I do carry myself a certain way that exhibits queen behavior, you know. So yeah, my cousin's name is Al Asia. So we got names, y'all. I think yeah, he named my cousin too. He's the one that be naming people. So yeah, we got some names. We got some names, but I like Al Asia though. I really do. Thank you, sis. Facts. I will tell my dad, yeah, y'all sent love. My dad also like he speaks to like guys and stuff in prisons and stuff. So he's like his own motivational speaker. I kind of get that from him because he's very much like a motivational speaker, like, and he's very spiritual and stuff. So a lot of that I do get from my dad for sure. Yeah. See, we had to grow into our name, but once we grew into it, it's fitting. It really is. It's fitting. And our Asia, Ava, like, hello. It kind of like worked out kind of like perfectly, the way like her daughter's name is Ava. So it kind of like matches. But yeah, a little bit about me because I know I have not shared. I don't think I've ever told you guys of like my dad named me, but yes, he did. He did. So, yep. But yeah, I appreciate y'all so much. I'm finally gonna like, this is Brian's laptop. He has a MacBook, so I'm gonna like figure it out so that I can go live more often. I'm gonna make him teach me how to work this thing. Yes, it most certainly is. And also, Nubians built the pyramids in Egypt. If you research and go back, the Nubians were the ones who built the pyramids in Egypt. And so all the mathematics, they were like very fucking smart. Now, I'm not good at math, so that ain't me. Strength and weaknesses, strengths and weaknesses. But yes, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back. This is my year of like diving back into my creativity and doing what I love. Now that Brian has his MacBook, I can like upgrade because I needed like a better camera. My HP is trash. So I'm glad that I could use his now. I think he's at the gym or something. He should be coming home soon. Um, but yeah. But yeah. That's it though, guys. I mean, if you guys have any more questions on the film or anything, I love talking to you. I really could talk all night. That's another thing. Like I love to talk. I could talk all night long. Exactly. Strong women. That's right, Dee. Now I'm gonna really be like, hey Dee. Hey girl. Wait, hold up. Here we go. Yes, yes. So yeah. But yeah. I'm glad that you guys got to see this short film. I will have another short film that is currently being edited. And when it is released, I would love to do another. This one is like completely different, nothing to do with pro black, like completely. Oh, okay, sis. She said, well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for it all, the wedding, the babies, everything. Period. Period. Wedding is coming soon. Buenas noches. Thank you, love. Thank you so much for coming. You've been awesome. I appreciate you, girl. Hi, Epiphany. Oh my God. I have a friend in the chat. This is an amazing, amazing actor, producer, director. I mean, she's all the things. She gave me a lot of tips when I was producing my very first thing. So shout out to you, Epiphany, for coming through, sis. Yes, I am. I hope you're doing well as well. Happy belated birthday. I'm sorry I couldn't make it, girl. I was down with the cold. I was down bad. This weather be killing me. Thank you, Lou. He loves you too. We had so much fun. We came down. I was glad he finally got to like see my childhood home and stuff. But yeah, I love Brian. He's amazing. He really is. Absolutely. Maybe at some point I can still give y'all a little something. You know, I don't want to post my whole life with him, but I'll post a little something. Like if we do a wedding or something, I can post a vid or something like a vlog. I'll do something cute. But yeah, everything is coming. Everything is coming. You know, I'm being patient because I know the kind of man I got. He is working diligently to make all of my dreams come true. And I appreciate him for that. So I can't wait. This year, I don't know. I have a good feeling about this year. I feel like some life-changing things are gonna happen this year. So I'm really excited. But yeah, girl. I appreciate you. Thanks for popping up. Um, so yeah, it's been nice. We've been together for like, oh my God, 5 years on this Valentine's Day. Me and Brian have been together. Crazy. Insane. We actually met right before COVID. We met like 2019, September of 2019, and we dated. And then he made me his girlfriend February 2020, right before the pandemic. So crazy. We've actually been together for 5 years. That is insane. Like 5 years just sounds like so long. But I don't know. It still feels fun. It still feels like a fun relationship, if that makes sense, you know? I need to get my locks done. Thank you, boo. Thank you. I need to get my locks done ASAP. So sweet. You two are such a cute couple. Thank you, boo. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's why we wanted to do a YouTube channel, but then I was like, honestly, this is sacred. This is God's work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy because before I met Brian, probably like 6 months before, and ladies, if you really want your person, this is what I did. Story time. Thank you, Lou. I was like, all right, first of all, first thing I did was I went celibate. I was like, I don't want to do any like, transactional on the fly intimate relationships anymore. I don't want to just, no connection. You know what I mean? I was tired of that. Like, and I've dated some really cool guys or whatever, but like when there's no connection and y'all just fooling around just to fool around, it's like whatever, right? I was tired of that. And so I was like, I really want my person. And I know I was so young, but I have an old soul. So like I was so ready to be settled with my person. Like I really did not want to date around a whole bunch of people. Like I was over that. I think I did it for like one summer and I was like, I'm over this. And it probably was like just 3 guys and I was over it. So first thing I did was I was celibate. I was like, not until I find somebody that is willing to be my partner. And then I saw this thing online that was like, write out all the things that you like you would want in a person. Nothing physical, like no physical attributes, just like personality wise, and things like that. So I wrote out probably like 5 or 6 things. I said outgoing, adventurous, someone that's into himself, because I love a dude that's into himself. What else? I mean, I don't remember the whole list off the top of my head. It was something like that, right? And then I think at the very end, I was like, yeah, I just also want somebody with a beard. That was like that was like the one physical thing that I had put on the list, right? And then, like, I was really into like spiritual manifesting and stuff. And so I saw something that said, take the piece of paper, put it under your pillow, and sleep on it. That's what I did. I put it under my pillow, I slept on it. And then I think like 3 weeks later or something, I was like cleaning my bed, making it up, washing my sheets, and it fell out. And I was like, this is so stupid. Why do I think this is even gonna work? I took it, threw it out. Like, girl, please. It was one of those moments where it was like, what the hell was I thinking? Right? Because I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna come tomorrow, right? Probably 6 months later after that, in my acting bag, focus on my career. My friend Davina, who's a really good friend of mine. She got casted in like this off Broadway play, and I was like, oh, Mama's doing off Broadway. I need to figure out what she's doing, okay? And so it just so happened she had hit me up, and she was like, hey, the lady's looking for some more people, and I was like, oh, I'm there. I'm there. So I go there first day. We got all these people coming to this this production. We meet the lady, and she's just assigning people because she was like she was producing multiple plays. They were called the Brothers and Sisters plays. So she had like 3 or 4 different productions going at one time. And she was like, you go here, you go there, you go there. So she's just randomly sending us to different rooms to do the table read. And so she's like, all right, you go here. And I go. And when I get there, table of people, first person I see is Brian. Instantly in my head, I'm like, oh, he look good. And I had to stop myself. I'm like, Star. In my head, I'm like, Star, you're not here for this. Focus on acting. Like, come on, seriously. Like, I'm getting on myself. Like, girl, get it together. We're not here for that. I'm like, all right, boom. We do the table read. He looking at me. I'm looking at him, but I'm focused. I'm focused. Right. And then I think we probably had like 2 or 3 rehearsals where we kind of like just talked a little bit, nothing crazy, laughed a little bit. Epiphany's laughing at me. But then it was like a little bit of drama. It'd be drama behind the scenes, y'all. So it was a little bit of drama that was going on with Brian. Like, one of the girls pulled me aside, like, oh my God, girl, before you got here, he had got into it with this person. Like, not really get into it. But what happened is he was supposed to be off book and he wasn't fully off book. And so I think like the director had something smart to say about it or something. And they was telling me, and usually I love tea. You know what I mean? So I was like listening, and I had a gut feeling like I didn't like that they were talking about him. And I don't know, I was like in my head again, Star, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you having this feeling about a guy that you do not know? Like, I was like mad at myself. Like, girl, get it together. What is going on? Like, I had a gut feeling of like, I don't like that they talking about him. And I didn't know what it was, right? Thank you, sis. um, and after that, it was like a couple of signs. I mean, God has this thing where like if I meet someone that will have a change on me in some way, he stops me in my tracks. And that's kind of how it felt when I met Brian. It was kind of a moment of like, who's this? You know what I mean? And I was having these feelings, and I was like, and I just met this nigga like 2 days ago. Why am I feeling this way? Like, it was weird. It was spiritual, y'all. It was like so gut feeling, intuition, like something is happening. And I hadn't even really talked to him. And so I thought I was just crazy in my head. I'm like, girl, get it together. This is not the time. Finally, one of the other productions goes up, and so we have to go see it, obviously, because we're going to be performing in the same space. And so me and him end up sitting next to each other. We cracked jokes the whole time. We talked. He was like very much a gentleman, like, I'll open the door for you, pull out your seat for you. Like, I'm like, well, I like this, very cute. And then after we saw the show, It was raining outside, like pouring, and I didn't have my umbrella. And he had a big umbrella. He was like, "Oh, I'll walk you to the train." And so he walked me to the train station and we were just talking. I'm like, I kind of like him. I don't know where this is gonna go. And boom, right when I got to my train, girl, he leaned in and kissed me. He tried to be low because I wasn't expecting that. He gave me a little peck. It wasn't like a tongue kiss, right? Because we had just met. But he like kissed me swiftly and then sent me on my way. And I get on the train and I'm thinking about him the entire train ride. And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? Hilarious. Very much so. Yes, it really was love at first sight. Like, and I don't know if it's maybe it really was love at first sight, but it was like a spiritual feeling. Even when I went to his house for the first time, I kept getting these gut feelings. Like I was seeing angel numbers all over his clock. I was seeing 444, 222, like all of these, alignment numbers. And I'm like, am I going in that moment, I wasn't even trusting myself, y'all. I was like, am I going crazy? Like, is this all in my head? Because I wanted this for so long. But then when it finally came, I was like, is this for real? You know what I mean? Like, is this for real? Is this really going on? So, yeah. But long story short, after that, pretty much it was history at that point, right? And it's funny because Brian is actually Jamaican. I'm African American. So I was like, he's not gonna like me. Like he wants probably somebody that's like from the islands, like more of his culture and his speed. But that was just me getting in my head about like whatever. You know what I mean? At some point I was like, all right, I just need to release, just have fun. You don't know where it's gonna go, whatever. And 5 years later, here we are, moved in together. Everything's going great. Um, so yeah, it really does happen that way. But I wanted to just tell that story because a lot of people don't know that is how I guess I could say I manifested Brian because everything on that paper, he checks out. He really does. Like he's an actor like I am. He had his own brand. I had Nubian Corks. Um, we're so super aligned, kind of like twin flames. Like he is really like my other half, truly. Like, and I'm a very like outgoing, personal, I'm a star, right? So not every guy can deal with having a star for a girlfriend. Like he met me, I was already popping on YouTube, all the things. And he just fit right in. He was so supportive. Like I would have pop-up shops and he would be there just to support me. Like, and I would always go to my pop-up shops alone. I would always just be there for hours. I mean, pop-up shops are long. You're in a festival. People come up and buy stuff, but a lot of times you're just sitting there for hours. And he was the first person to be like, I'll go with you. He helped me set up my whole table. That's when I'm like, wait a minute, I got a man right here. Because he like fixes stuff. Like I remember what really made me fall in love with him. And see, now I'm telling on my business. Best friends. Yeah, I really do feel like Brian is my best friend. He does get on my nerves sometimes, and we fight like a like old couple. But yeah. Um, one time like my ring light broke. And yeah, I know I do YouTube and stuff. And I was like, fuck, I gotta buy a new ring light. I don't have the money for this. And he was like, I can fix it. I don't know what he did, but he took my ring light. He like fixed it, taped it up or something to where it worked for like another year. I think it was like a short in it or something in the wire. And he did something where he like, I don't know what he did, but he fixed it. And I was like, oh, thank you. And I didn't even ask him. He just did it. Like, and he's always been like that, like acts of service. He loves to just take care of me and do things and like solve all my problems. Um, but yes, God does work in mysterious ways. I can honestly say Brian was God sent, truly, because even when I think about like all the stuff we've been through together, like my first acting gig, he was there. Like my first professional acting gig, he flew out to Cincinnati to see me. He actually helped me with the audition, with the self-tape. Like he was my reader. And then to see me like book it and he was out there, you know what I mean? And then all the way to me losing my sister. And he's been through everything with me, thick and thin, and we've been together and he's been helping me through it. He has a very positive mindset. So even when I'm like lacking something or depressed or in my own way, he has a way of pulling me out of it. So that's what really made me be like, this might actually be my husband, because I've never had someone like that in my life that really sees me for who I really am and is able to pull me up. Usually I'm the person that is helping people, right? Like teaching and spirituality and Nubian quirks and all of that. I don't really have many people in my life that I can call and lean on, you know? So he's one of those people that I can do that with. And I think we all need that. Even the strong friend needs that. But yes, he is a real man. He is a real man. Thank you. I'm gonna put a note under my pillow tonight. Okay. She said, I hope nothing wino don't show up. Truly, y'all. That is the real story of like how he came into my life. Like, truly. I wrote out everything that I wanted in a man, and he fit everything that I said. Everything. Everything. So, God, I see what you do for others. Period. It's coming, Lou. It's coming. And you know what? Another thing too, it comes at the most randomest times. It really does, because I'm telling you, I was in my acting bag. I wasn't focusing on it. Like I got to a place where I was like, I'm celibate. I'm focusing on my career. Like I'm not doing this dating thing anymore. And then it happened. And I was taken aback, like taken aback. And I was doubting myself, like, what is this? Like, why do I feel this way? But it was God. And it was like a spiritual intuition telling me, like, this is something, this is going to be a long relationship or whatever, you know? But yeah. So if y'all want to do it, you know what? I also told my sister to do the same thing. I was like, write out a list of all the men, all the things that you would want in a man. And she wrote it out. She didn't put it under her pillow. She put it on her refrigerator so that she could see it every day. And long story short, my nephew was just born 3 months ago. No, 6 months ago. 6 months ago. He was born and she found her person and he was right at her job in front of her face the whole time. You know, so these things happen, y'all. It's all about being intentional. It really is. I believe in being intentional. 50 fine health, right? But yeah. So that's my little love story. Um, yeah, thank you. But yeah, be intentional. Write out like the kind of man that you want. Like, I want a man that's gonna, like you said, be a real man, take care of me, communicate, all these things, like outgoing, smart, funny, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Write it out and get intentional. And then when you do start dating, if that's not aligning with who you want, you know to just fall back. Like that ain't it. Manifestation is very powerful. It really is. It really is. Like I've manifested a lot of stuff in my life. Just being intentional in my head and visualizing the thing that I want, and then also not settling for anything else. That's the key. You can't manifest and then when any low Tom, Dick, and Harry come up, you're like, oh, you know, like, no. Does he check off the boxes? You know what I mean? You got to like make sure. Don't just fall for anything, you know. But I really do believe everybody has a person, and it's just a matter of time before you find them. And also, relationships don't always last, even if it's a healthy relationship. Relationships are work. That is the one thing that I've learned being in a 5-year relationship. It is work, y'all. Like it's work. I have to work to communicate better. I have to work to like get out of my attitude when I'm still mad at him, but it's like something petty because I can hold a grudge. Even if it's something petty, I can hold a grudge, you know? So relationships are work. Um, and really and honestly and truthfully, like no relationship is goals or like, oh, I want to be like this person or that person. Like the only thing that makes a successful relationship is your commitment to one another. That's it. We're not perfect people. I don't do everything right and he doesn't do everything right. We are good people, like, we're not fucked up individuals, thank God. But even the flaws and the stuff that I do have and the flaws and the stuff that he has, we just made a decision to work through it because we love each other. It's not like we're perfect in this fairy tale thing. You know what I mean? So that's something that I learned because Brian was my first serious relationship. Met him, I think, at 22. That's young. That's really young. Yeah, it was 22. That's really young to like start in a full serious relationship. And he's older than me too. Brian is older than me. So he would always be like, I don't know if I want to make you my girlfriend because I'm looking for a wife, because he's like in his 30s. So he was ready for a wife. And I felt like I was ready for a husband, but at the same time, I didn't know if this was my husband or not because I was still young. I just kind of was like, let's see where it goes. And this is where we are. So that's it for my little soapbox. Period. Just go next. If you don't align, on to the next. I've been watching Love is Blind too recently. That show is hilarious. I mean, some people have actually found love on there, which I think is cute. But at the same time, I'm like, how much of this shit is TV and how much of this shit is real love? I don't know. You know what I've always been very mature. That is true. I've always been very mature, very mature. And I think that's why, even though we do have an age gap, like I feel like we're on the same level mentally. We really are. I was very goal oriented, focused in my bag, building my brand, and very emotionally mature too, like having deep conversations about stuff. So I've always been very mature. That is true. Yeah, and he was already matured, which is a beautiful thing. Because sometimes he tells me, he's like, I don't know, we met when I was in my 20s, I was a hothead and da, da, da. So, maybe God was getting him ready for me and was getting me ready for him. And we met at the right time, you know? So it just happened that way. It really did. And we've been through a lot together in these 5 years. So, yeah, maybe we do like a couples podcast, Star Speaks or something. Because he has a lot of like introspective stuff about relationships and stuff. Like his parents have been married all his life, so he has a very great foundation. Whereas me, rose growing from concrete, quite literally, you know. But I think it just makes my story more compelling, because I've been through a lot, but I've overcame so much, and you really would never know half of the stuff I've endured and been through since I was a kid. Um, so yeah. Yes, yes. Yeah. So maturity is a big thing for sure. But yeah, I love y'all. If you're new to this chat and you're just joining, okay, Lou. She said, I want to be a guest on the podcast. Period. I'm gonna start coming up with some episodes and stuff because you could definitely come up. You could definitely come on. Let me think. What's some of the episodes that I could do? Because I want to bring back Star Speaks. I have not touched it since 2021, but everybody loved that podcast and it was so much fun. And I feel like now I want to tap back into that. So I'm gonna come up with some like fun episodes and stuff that we can do. Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm definitely gonna have Brian on at some point, and then I'll have my cousin on too. Oh, thank you, sis. I appreciate you. I really do. See, y'all have been rocking with me for so long. I appreciate y'all so much. But if you're just joining the live, I did just have a whole what is it? live premiere with my YouTube. We posted my short film that I did in 2020. So if you have not seen that, go watch. I'm going to log off. I was supposed to do an Instagram post to promote my damn short film, but I got so caught up with y'all. That's what I mean. Like, I'll just keep talking all night. I'll just keep talking all night, and it'll be 11 o'clock at night, and I'm still talking. It's ridiculous. It's actually insane. So, gotta get it together. But good night, lovelies. I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. I'll be back next week, maybe, with my other short film, and we can talk more. I appreciate y'all so much. Yes, please share the short film. Share it with the Black women in your life, your family, your friends, the non-Black women in your life. Share it with a white man. Let him come over here and see the stuff that this man just took from me. Okay? How about that? Good night. Love you guys. You guys are awesome.